Hello and welcome back to Galactic Reviews.
Hey!
And we just watched the movie Wish.
Some
Yeah,
say we wish we didn't watch
yeah,
that
yeah.
movie.
That's an hour and a half I won't get back. Now,
No, I was just kidding. To me, it wasn't that bad.
to me it was. It
I
was.
know.
So do you want to go first or I go first?
I'll go first. That's
Okay,
fine.
okay, you go.
So personally, this movie wasn't bad. I saw a lot of good stuff and a lot of the little like hints and jabs that they have when referencing themselves because this was their 100-year anniversary thing. I just thought that it had its ups, it had its downs. I think it was interesting having the villain sing songs with the main character, and then you don't have the villain have his own song. I think that's what really hurt this movie is that the villain doesn't have his own like evil song that you see like Scar, um, what was it, Ursula, like characters like that have their own evil song, and you don't really get to see that. You see him have a good song, but you don't really get to see him have like this evil, like good song. Like if there was one, I don't even remember it. Um,
I think
I really
there.
liked the main character. I thought she was interesting, but it was just like she was okay. Like I loved her singing though. Her singing was really good, especially in that one song when she, like right before she wished upon the star. I thought that was really cool. But I think my probably my biggest one of my biggest problems with this movie was the side characters. I think that whole group of side characters, you did not need them. You absolutely did not need all of those side characters. It was like her group of friends. It was the crippled Asian, the short guy, the big guy, the guy who looked like a ripoff of Dopey, the high pitched annoying girl, and then the African American girl. You did not need that many side character friends. And honestly, it would make sense that one of them would like become loyal to the king. I thought that was a good little plot twist, but it was kind of like sudden. I felt like there should have been more of a build to that. I think just those characters, just you didn't need all of them, especially like for me. I pitched girl you didn't need. I hate to do this, but the African American girl you didn't need. The like the what was it that dopish looking kid, the dopey's overgrown lookalike you didn't really need. Um, but to in order to like continue this plot, you would need the crippled Asian girl because she's her best friend, and she had a lot of dialogue in this movie. You needed the bad guy who would change to a bad guy, which would be big guy, and then you would need the short guy for comedy relief because he was. I thought his character was pretty funny, I would say, but I think if you just had those three and maybe one more, like I would have probably, knowing Disney, they would probably add back in the African American girl. I think that would have been fine. And honestly, she was a good singer, but it was just like the high pitched girl who was really annoying in my opinion. There was no point in having her and the dopey guy. The dopey guy, he was kind of funny, but he just didn't really fit with the plot and how it moved. So I just think with this movie, it just like the side characters for me did not work, except for one, and that would be the old guy. Because at the end, the old guy, because we found out this guy was 100. I didn't actually realize it, and then I think what makes like this character worthwhile is the fact that he literally is Disney. All he wanted to do was bring happiness and joy. Well, I guess he knew the whole time, but I guess that was like that guy's wish. But I thought that was really a really good like little subplot there. And it was even nicer to hear him actually play the main like sound for Disney at the end on this guitar. I thought that was a great touch at the end that I thought was really good. The Queen, I just did not understand as well. I don't understand her like anything, like her allegiance when the king became bad, especially like I think she should have changed allegiance way before. she did. I didn't think she also didn't need to get introduced being on the being against the king in song. I thought that was kind of inappropriate to do, but it is what it is. I think the goat wasn't that good either. I don't think, and it's not like the goat. The goat didn't match the voice as well as the goat shouldn't have been this guy with a deep voice playing a what like the character would say a 5 year old, a 5 year old 6 year old goat. I think that was actually quoted in the movie. I think that wasn't a good move because it was a one of those like you could have had a kid play this. You could have had a some funny character like type person. Like I don't know. I just felt like deep voice guy, whoever that was, did
Alan
not do a
Tudyk.
good job. Hmm?
Alan
Alan
Tudyk.
Dyke played that. He shouldn't have played him like that. He
No,
should
no,
have.
no. He did. They probably asked him to do it like that because they wanted it for that one joke.
Oh, that's it. That was the
Probably.
only
That's how
reason.
shallow
That
the
like
writing seems to be in this
that
film.
was. It's like the writing in this one wasn't that good. But
Yeah,
I will say that
it wasn't.
the songs were pretty good. I thought some of the songs were pretty good, but the writing just wasn't there on this one, and it stinks because this is the 100-year anniversary for Disney animation, and they did this flop, and it's just sad to see because Disney used to do such good stuff, like what was it, Lilo and Stitch. I mean, you can go into the depths of Disney animation and say these were good movies. Do something like this, and it stinks to see that because it stinks to see that all these movies were bomb after bomb after bomb, and now we're at Wish, and Wish has absolutely bombed. Like you look at Wish, and I wish Wish, but I wish that this movie was better. I wish this movie wasn't like I thought it was okay, but this movie just it was meant to be like a it was I think the accomplishment was to do two things. One, self promote themselves as a good movie industry, which of course that would fail. And two, have a some just talk about this old character that we don't really understand, but it's really cool to see how his character worked. I like the old guy; he was really good. But it was just like for me, it just didn't really what's the wording hit me the way I was expecting it to. Because I thought this was going to be a really good movie, and it was kind of just a big letdown in some ways. Now, in other ways, it was okay. Like I thought the music was really good, um, and I think if you were to go back and listen to that music, I thought it was decent. But I think when it comes to like a movie, the plot was okay. The plot was okay. It wasn't the greatest. It was okay. I think it was just written terribly because you really could have done a really good job with this if you actually wrote it well. And I think the problem with this was that it wasn't written well, but if you did a few changes here and there, it could have been better. But I don't know. I just think this was a decent movie, and I would give it probably a 4 out of 10.
You are being gracious.
I am. No. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I thought this movie was okay, but it was just like the writing wasn't there, the plot wasn't there. The song, I liked the songs in it. I really did. But it was just like there were some things here and there that they could have definitely changed, and that would have made the movie way better and paying like more homage to Disney, you know? Because with this, it's like this isn't Disney. This is just utter garbage.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, one of the last Disney animation specifically, one of their last good movies was Encanto. That was the last good movie that they've had. And even I don't even know if you like that.
I didn't watch it. I didn't care.
I would recommend watching it. It's actually not bad. I personally like that one, but that was like their last Disney Animation's last good one. if I'm being honest. And they haven't produced a good one ever since.
I think I agree with all your points as far as like the negative on the negative side of this film. I thought the plot was stupid. I thought the protagonist and the antagonist were both very, very poorly done, poorly written. All the characters that were like side characters, there's so many of them that none of them get to stand out well. And the ones that they do put at the forefront are either bland, boring, or just don't have enough time to actually be shown well. I disagree with you on the songs. The songs suck. The music isn't horrible, like as far as like the notes and stuff. The wording is the most atrocious problem with this. Like they don't know how to write. It felt more like I was listening to a speech than a song. That's for a lot of the verses, and it was just the most insufferable, boring crap I've ever
It's like you're
watched.
listening to
Um,
Shakespeare reading a poem, but there's
no,
music behind it.
Shakespeare is actually good. This felt like you were getting preached to by somebody who had no idea what they were preaching.
Didn't do the research at all.
Yeah, pretty much. The
Can I talk plot real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Like, wouldn't it have been a lot better of a movie if you knew the king was bad from the beginning?
You did from the trailer. The
But that's the trailer, though. I'm like, if you're a
Yeah,
guy
if you go into
walking
this
into this movie,
blind, I mean, it's
going into this
Disney.
blind,
It's Disney. Most of the guys that you see in the beginning of it are dumb, and the king is white, so you can kind of guess how this is gonna go. Disney hasn't really changed much, so the white guy's usually the evil guy. Let's just go with that. And most of the guys in there that
unless
isn't
unless it's Princess and the Frog, I'll tell you that much.
most of the guys that are in there in that movie are dumb, except for the one guy that's taken over by the evil guy. All of a sudden, he goes from being this dumb, sleepy guy to all of a sudden being smart for whatever reason.
Well, okay.
What? That's what
Well,
happens
no,
to
I
him.
don't think he became a dumb guy to a smart guy. I think he was still dumb. It's just the magic that he was given
No, he was
by the
dumb.
king.
Like he went from being a controlled smart guy. Like that's what I'm saying. Like he went from
Yeah.
being this dumb character to being this really smart character that was able to like he was controlled,
Well,
granted, but he was still
do you know if that plan was if the plan that was given by like where he would pretend to be the king, was that him making the plan or was that the king
no, that
making
was
the
the
plan?
king making the plan. That wasn't him. That was the king.
Hmm.
He didn't do squat. All he did was just be there.
Yeah.
From what you get at the beginning is that the king basically put magic on himself where he's kind of somewhat controlling every bit of his movements or every bit of his thought and stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah, a lot of this is just very, very stupid and offensively stupid at that, to the point where I don't see a kid enjoying this film at all.
If a kid enjoyed this film, oh man.
Trying to think of everything that I thought was bad. I basically covered everything in like five sentences, being like, yeah, this was dumb, this was dumb, this was bad, this is bad. Uh
I just took the words out of your mouth. That's what I did.
the example is basically the film. Like you compare this film to any other kids film like maybe 10 years ago, even
Oh,
films that were done by Disney not that long ago. They're way better than this, and they're not even the cream of the crop. Compare this to like Lion King. Compare this to like movies like even Pinocchio, which is scary beyond belief.
mhm.
Especially that one scene where a kid turns into a donkey. I'm just saying, I'm not saying they're perfect, but because those movies definitely have some flaws. Granted, they have some flaws. They're very minimal, but they have some. This one has like flaws throughout, and you're trying to find the good piece and be like, oh, it's good. This movie sucks. They reference themselves a lot, which is just them essentially sucking themselves off. There's no real reason for it. Like it's unless you know, like you go back and look at this, watch this film, not realizing that it's the 100-year film.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not
Like
gonna
halfway
know. You're
through
not
it, I
gonna
was
care. You're
realizing I
gonna
was
be
like,
like,
wait a
what?
minute,
Why
are
are
they
they referencing
referencing?
themselves? This is what?
Yeah, because
Why are
I
they
was
referencing?
realizing, I realized halfway through, I'm like, wait a minute, they're referencing themselves
Yeah, they're
throughout the
referencing themselves throughout
entire
the film.
flip. And then I was like, I want to go back and see if they were actually doing it the entire movie.
They probably are. I don't. I noticed it a couple times. I'm like, well, I don't. care. So,
Yeah, I didn't either. I
um,
was just like, oh, there's a reference. Honestly, I was looking more for the reference than actually watching the movie. Like, oh my gosh, there's a reference to a good movie. Watch it. It's a really good one.
it's not a good film. Let's see. The movies they reference are actually better films than the film that than this film. It's called Irony. The concept of the film in and of itself, it's stupid because and if you want to change the way that the plot of this film, you basically got to change the whole plot. If you want to make this film good, you basically got to change the whole plot because the whole
Yeah,
plot is stupid.
just make a new movie at that point.
Yeah.
I would save this movie.
Uh, the animation is probably the most offensive thing I've seen about this film. The animation sucks.
Hmm.
The animation sucks. You go
I
look
thought it
at
was okay.
no.
I mean, it could have been way
This
better.
is Disney animation. They did Encanto. I saw the trailers for Encanto. I didn't see the film, but I saw the trailers for Encanto. Compare the Encanto with this.
Hmm.
And Encanto was made before.
Nah, I would say the animation isn't that bad.
The animation sucks. They
It's
don't
not.
know
I won't say it's not good, but it's not bad.
the thing. It's bad. It's bad, dude. Don't even. The animation's bad. I saw the background of one of the scenes and I couldn't unsee the stupid animation. Like when she's in the woods, the water is the most abysmal.
Okay. So
Everything
then,
looks
so
like
then, what you're
stills.
saying, so what you're saying is, we should go back to the '50s in order for us to actually go watch some good animation.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not even saying the 50s. Go back 10 years and that'll be better animation than what we
No,
got
but I'm
here.
just saying the '50s had better stuff
Yeah.
than like this animation. It's like they got like a bunch of college students together and they're like, "Hey, let's get this done." Okay.
Yeah.
Why are we doing this? Oh, because
This animation is
Disney needs
probably
it.
this animation's probably on par with like a very cartoony Toy Story graphics. Like when Toy Story was starting out, like the 3D
I mean,
sort of
even
like the
Toy Story
3D
was better.
animation sort of art style was starting out. That's kind of what
Yeah.
this feels like. It feels like we're seeing like the prototype of 2D animation, sort of like going into what like Clone Wars would be. That's the kind of feels like a very cartoony version. It's not that good. Like the hands look all weird. They essentially just look like meat fingers. That's really all they look like. Water looks poorly done. Backgrounds look poorly done. Characters have are very, very poorly done. To the point where they just look really bad. I don't get a lot of this movie at all. Like a lot of this movie, the white guys are the bad guys. Um, well, the smart white guy is the bad guy. The dumb white guys are the good guys. And then the guy that's dumb, the white guy that's dumb that becomes smart ends up being the bad guy until he becomes dumb again. Then he's accepted back by the good guys. It's very odd
And
concept.
Forgiven too, by the way.
Yeah, at least he's forgiven. The king, for whatever reason, he fell down so far down a path that apparently he couldn't be redeemed,
Oh,
is how they said it in the film.
you know what's even funnier? I just realized something.
But
Wasn't that dumb guy in the movie because told he was boring?
the dumb guy that becomes a smart guy,
Yeah,
yeah, he's told he's boring after
yeah,
he's given away his wish. So, and we
yeah,
don't get any reference to him
yeah.
like
We
beforehand.
like,
So we just kind of like stuck with this worse off of a character that we're told was once good. So yeah, this film is not good. If you wanted to nitpick this film, feel free to do so. For anybody else who wants to nitpick in the comment section down below, you can. Literally, you can.
no, we yeah. Absolutely.
But nitpick, you could literally nitpick at this film on all the problems that they have, and you could go on for probably, I'd say maybe a day, on stuff they could do better.
Is it like the whole you play it, pause it, play it,
You
pause
probably
it?
could. You probably could, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and that's if you wanted
100%.
to nitpick every little thing. If you wanted to just do it in
It's like
broad sentences like we did, you could do it in like 5 minutes and be done with it. Because by just saying like this sucked, this sucked, this sucked, this sucked, because they basically do.
yeah,
Like nothing is good in it except you could argue maybe the voice acting is horrible. But I'm sorry, if you're going down to like saying like the voice acting is not bad, okay, that's very poor to be like, yeah, I thought the voice acting was okay. Like, okay, good for you.
You
Um,
need to go watch Beauty and the Beast. That's some good voice acting right there.
yeah, the way Bella Thorne uses auto tune, it's good voice
No,
acting.
not the live action, the cartoon
Oh,
one.
yeah, this is not a good film by any stretch of the imagination. Um, so I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Um,
I ain't gonna lie, I thought you were gonna give one.
no, I'll give it a 1.5. 1.5 out of 10. It was bad.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I don't blame you either.
so this YouTube channel called Film Threat, uh, bigger channel, had some very I think very big channel compared to us, big
Some would
channel.
say the biggest channel.
No. But according to them and their inside information that they have, this film isn't what it was originally supposed to be. So originally, this film, titled Wish, was originally supposed to be about the origin of the song "When You Wish Upon a Star," and it was supposed to be that and actually honor the 100 years of Disney. Instead, it became this amalgamation of woke ideology, all imprinted, all in a film that had everybody that told everybody to forget about God and tell everybody that they're made out of stars. So it's very
Yeah,
so for people who are
that plot
thinking
sounds
that,
way better too.
yeah, it sounds way better, and we got this. So, and I have no idea.
I think the idea was still
I have
there, but it just didn't come across at all.
no. It got the people that had that idea. They started with that idea, then they got thrown out, and then people got implanted in there that got put that had ideology and stuff and whatnot, and then that's how this thing came about, and that's why the animation is so bad because they were picked for ideology, not for their abilities or work ethic or whatever. They were just chosen because of their ideology and what they believed in, and not at all for their work ethic. And yeah, the reason why they have so many like a crippled Asian, a black girl, a Hispanic lady, a mixed lady, an Indian dude, uh, a midget. The only reason why I can think they have all those characters in there is that way they can get like their equity points by saying like, look, we have this diverse cast. That's the only reason I can think about that. That I can think that they did that. Yeah, this is not a good film by any stretch of the imagination. I don't like that you called it a good film, but you gave
I
it.
said okay
Well, yeah,
because there were some parts of it that I liked, but it just some of it was just bad.
yeah, but to be fair, you were dropped on your head a few times, so it's understandable to some degree. But this film is not good. It's just not. It's not a good family film. It's not a good. It's not a good film in general. It's not a good. It's just not a good Disney
Let's just say
film.
Walt Disney would be disappointed.
It's
He's
Walt
rolling in his
Disney.
grave right now.
Yes. Well, to be fair, he's been rolling his grave since probably 2015. But I would say he's been more recently rolling his grave more so ever since COVID and all
Yeah,
this woke ideology and stuff.
he's looking like he's looking like the log. You know those like log rollers or whatever, like those people that run on logs on water.
But yeah, for anybody who is hopeful about this film, no. Um,
I actually do know a YouTuber that was
I
really
don't know how
hopeful.
you could have been hopeful
He
for the
the
film.
title of his video is Disney back.
Well, is he gonna be disappointed? The Queen was also very insufferable. Her turn was like out of convenience, not so much out of character development.
Yeah.
It felt more like, oh yeah, we gotta have she's a lady, we can't have her be evil.
Oh, she's a white lady. She's like the queen of Twitter.
It was more so just she's a woman and it's not her fault that she decided to marry him and uh go along with this evil charade, even though she knew about it the whole time. It kind of implied that she knew about it the whole time, but never said anything, and now it's not her fault. It makes no sense.
I mean,
Um,
even if they do it too, which let's be honest, dude, they're not.
I don't want them
They're
to do a second
not
one.
gonna get a two off of this.
Nope,
If they somehow do it too,
they're not going to.
she'll
Don't
be the
even put
bad
that.
guy.
She won't. She won't. She'll be the hero, and the evil king will come back and try to win her back, and she'll say no, and that'll be her basically saying no to the.
It's just gonna be bad.
It's saying it's so the whole film is stupid. The whole freaking film is stupid.
So how is that? 90 minutes there, Payson.
What 90 minutes?
The 90 minutes you wasted watching this movie.
Well, it took me only 5 minutes to get the gun out of my head because I wanted to get to this thing, but I'll put it right back in as soon as we're done with this. But other than that, I've been fine.
You know what Thomas would be saying?
He probably wouldn't. He would probably be in your camp too. He'd be like, whatever.
Oh, this movie was okay. I mean, the music was
He'd be
pretty
getting
good.
so
I mean,
offended. He'd be getting offended by what I have to say,
oh,
but I don't think he'd
oh,
be.
Payson, he hates everything.
He probably wouldn't like that I have to go so hard on this movie. But when you when you
No,
when
I
you
don't
not
blame you
only
though.
when you not only see all the ideology that's in there and how much of a waste this film is compared to what it said in the trailer, where this was a film in the making of a century, but you also got to take into account that all the possible stuff that could have happened with this film, especially when you hear about the premise of it being the origin story of When You Wish Upon a Star.
Probably needs to make it. Probably needs to go back to the drawing board for another 100 years, to be honest.
Yeah, 1.5 out of 10. I think I handled that pretty well.
Yeah.
I'd say this is on par with The Room, so I'll give it a 1 out of 10. I'll be gracious.
The Room.
The Room, yeah. Don't go watch that movie. It's a nightmare. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Galactic Reviews. And if you agree with me, Ethan, or you just disagree entirely, leave a comment down comment section below. And see you next time on Galactic Reviews.